Welcome back. Well, I'm going to start a journey. I'll tell you all about it after this really funny intro. It is a funny intro. I think I'm going to go with this one for a while. You know, when we were at all this snow and can't fish, you just make funny things. So, what am I going to pursue? Well, after I sell my baits, these baits are going to fund a very high-end reel. I have great rods now. I mean, my Cajun rods are just fantastic. And I got this new 7.5 footer that is going to be awesome for BFS. That deserves a high-end reel. So this year, as I get revenue from my baits, I will be saving that profit to go into a very high-end reel. Now, the search is crazy. It really is. Now, I'm a big Shimano fan. Let's get that thing down here, maybe. I don't know. And I just would love to stay in the Shimano line. So, am I getting... I don't think I'm getting any audio. Oh, yeah, I am. There it is. Good. So, Shimano has two really good BFS reels, the Aldebaran and the Conquest. Two very, very different reels. The Aldebaran is a low-profile bait caster, and the Conquest BFS is a round design. It's so hard to choose between the two. They both have similar braking systems, but the Conquest seems to be getting better reviews. And the drawback, you know, all bait casters, and I've told you this many times, all bait casters backlash, is because the round design and the smaller design on the Conquest is that it's really hard to pick out your backlashes. But once it's dialed in, it's awesome. And then there's all these other ones. Yeah. Lose LFS, the Steez, the Revo by Abu Garcia. It's just, oh my goodness. And I kind of like the Daiwa T-Wing. I don't know. I've been looking at this over and over again, and I've just been trying to figure out, you know, if anybody says that the T-Wing actually helps with the casting besides Daiwa. So technically it should, but they don't have as good a braking system. It's all about the brakes. When you are throwing a very light spool, you guys know it'll go up to like 40,000 RPMs. And you've got to control those RPMs either with your tension, your brake, or with your thumb. Those are the three mechanisms to control the spool speed so it doesn't overrun and backlash on you. And once it's dialed in, you're good. You really are. For a while. I seldom have to readjust my braking systems on my reels. Once they're dialed, they're good. So I pretty much will assume that I'll have trouble at the very beginning. But after a few weeks, probably not. The digital controls, you know, the DCs that are on the market, I'm not real crazy about them, to be honest. The DCs, not just by Shimano or Daiwa or whoever, the DCs can break down, and I'm not real crazy about having, something digital in my reel. I love the mechanics of a good braking system, both magnets and centrifugal, and a centrifugal magnet system, which is Shimano, is really a good thing. There's also the way they create they don't touch, but they create a magnetic field, and the magnetic field allows for a free flow of my spool, but also controls its spin. So, we're not looking at, my decision. I think at the moment I'm really leaning towards the Conquest BFS. And I don't know, it's just, we're talking May, June, that I would be buying this. Because I would have to sell my baits and then wait for the receipts, the accounts receivable on them. But that new rod's gotta have something really good on it. So I'm really, it's I keep going back and seeing what all the different options are for a BFS style reel. It doesn't. Nice thing about the Conquest, it is designed for BFS. They have non-BFS Conquests, the gold brassy looking ones, and this one's all silver. And it's a little heavier, which also plays into it because it's a full metal jacket on it. And I do fish for 12 hours at a time, and BFS is my preferred fishing. So you're looking at 8 hours or so of just bam, 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 all wrist action. By the end of the day, that rod weighs nothing. So really, it's all on the reel. So it's it's a journey. The thing is, it's just like all things. When you over-research something, you confuse yourself. I trained professional salesmen in my career. And I always told them, when you give a customer too many options, you lose the sale. Because you confuse them. Give them 2 options that fit within their parameters. But make those 2 options very different. Now, when we sold audio, I told you one time, I used to sell audio. You always demonstrated clips because they're a horn tweeter, and then anything else. You sold a lot of clips. Clips is a really good brand, but very sound different. So if somebody was a jazz person, you let them listen to clips, and you let them listen to, I don't know, Boston or Energy or or even Bang & Olufsen. Those are the really high-end guys. But let them listen and do an A/B comparison. They can tell the big difference between the two, and they'll pick one. And that's my problem. I'm over-presenting myself with options because there's so many, and this is a one-time purchase of buying a high-end reel. Now, I do have a Curata BFS, and I love that reel, but it cannot cast really, really, like 1 or 2 gram baits, or even half a gram. So my needs have grown, and my ability to pay for it in my baits. So we will be making some more baits. We're going next week. We're going to be making some spinner baits, and we're going to make a line of spinner baits for trout fishing and bass fishing and crappie fishing and whatnot. Spinners work for everything. So that'll be really nice to do. But yeah, this journey is going to be kind of confusing for a while. I'd like to buy it locally, so I stopped by Parker's Rod and Gun today and talked to Dave, and The Conquest BFS are back ordered. So I'm going to have to just, that's fine because I can't order it for a few months anyway. But he can get it, which is really nice because I'd rather support a local business, even if I have to pay a little bit more for it. So I really don't mind at all to do something like that. When you start, the company I worked for 16 years went out of business because of internet. It really did. And an idiot that bought us. The people would, you can't buy speakers on the internet. I'm sorry, you just can't. You need sound rooms. You need to play your music. You need a controlled environment. You need to listen. And how the internet replaced us is beyond me. I think it was just the new owner that bought us that did it more than anything. But when you try to save $1 on something that you really want to spend $1 on, I think you're making the mistake. You're making a big mistake. If there was a local, shop here in town that can buy all my supplies, I would do it. And I've tried. I've tried to look and try to see where I can, give to the local economy. That's why I buy USA, U.S. made stuff. I like to keep it within the realms of my environment, my world. So, but yeah, this is going to be, it's going to be quite challenging. This picking a new BFS, but tell me what you think. If you could spend just about any amount of money, up to $500, let's give us a cap of $500, and you could spend $500 on any BFS reel, what would it be? So I want BFS, bait finesse system, something that casts a very light, like 1 gram bait. And then I already have the rod. Now I got to think about what to put on the rod. I have a BFS reel on the rod now, but it's not top of the line. In fact, it's bottom of the line. But it's we'll see. So let's get your thoughts on this one. See if you can help me with this little journey and this adventure, and we'll see what we can come up with. So let's watch the funny one, the one I do this at the end, intro or outro. See you in the next video.